who, designed D.C. and, renowned figure in American history, was one of the first people on the commission that you just mentioned. And now we have, a very, very young woman who looks like she recently escaped from homeroom to have her braces removed, has no experience at all. And she's now a Trump appointee. Why? Because she's one of Trump's secretaries. So it's a kakisocracy, as the word that gets tossed around. I know it's a word I didn't know well, but it means governance by the inept, and that's what we're suffering through.
Yeah, as you say, inept and nepotism and patronage carrying more weight than anything else, which, as you know, is also the opposite of what Trump had famously claimed in his campaigns. He said that because he was wealthy, he would have less corruption incentive, and it was really the public officials that you have to worry about. It's the opposite. I want to show you Kristi Noem, who at one point might have been fighting for her job over all the ICE outrage, and she at DHS getting involved in the voting discussion. Take a listen.
When it gets to election day, that we've been proactive to make sure that we have the right people voting, electing the right leaders to lead this country.
Is that the proper approach of a security official? And related, what is your legal view of the limits on ICE under current law to be out in a way that might be voter intimidation in any voting period when we get to the midterms?
So that's an excellent question. I think we're going to see the courts gradually parse through that. ICE actually has no local law enforcement authority in any of the states. They're only supposed to manage the limited number of federal crimes entrusted to them, and they shouldn't be there. But it's going to take a series of court battles, I think, to prevent them from being there, and it may come down to a conflict between state National Guards and ICE, absent an implication of the Insurrection Act, which I think we will see in advance of the election. So I think people should be very, very concerned and very, very animated about what's coming. Garry Kasparov, of course, has the noted Russian dissident and former world chess champion, has been very outspoken about the gulags that are being built around the country, and the fact that they're intended not only to house, illegally detained immigrants, of which we have thousands now, but also likely dissidents and people of color on a going forward basis. What is happening in this country?
And you don't think that's just an international parallel gone too far? You believe that's something that Trump would try to do and get away with? So
I'll put it this way, Trump is deporting people on a trajectory and at a pace that's not very different from the number of deportations that happened under Obama. However, the number of illegally detained people is extraordinarily high, and he's building dozens of prisons to house up to 8,000 people. We've never needed that before. That's well over 150,000 beds. Who are they for? And who are they going to be for when the detainees are gone? This is, as Garry Kasparov says, this is not a drill.
Yeah, that's powerful coming from his knowledge of the world and your concern about a man you once served in the White House. Ty, stay with me. That brings us to another question here about how people are trying to fight back and thwart this. I want to ask you when we come back.
Sure.